Today in Unit 2, today is the second last lecture of Unit 2. Tomorrow will be the last one. Afterwards, will be start with Unit 3, which is marketing. Today we'll go through three topics, which is one difference between leader and a manager. Another is Maslow's need hierarchy theory, and next last theory will be Herzberg two-factor theory. First of all, let us see the difference between the leader and the manager. So we have here given the how leaders are different from managers. So leaders are who, first of all, commonly who give you the vision, and managers are actually followers. लीडर के हाथ में बहुत कुछ होता है. लीडर who is heading, leader is not any party leader. Leader is one who is heading the project, who is responsible for the project. You can understand like this. And the manager who is performing a set of duty in a particular project. So you yourself can understand this thing in a better manner. Then first of all, leader create, as I told you, leader create a vision, manager create goals. As I told you, what are the difference at the initial point? Leaders paint a picture of what exactly they see, what exactly they see as they follow. Just a minute, some network problem is there. So leaders paint a picture of what they actually see, what is going to be possible, and will inspire them by and engage their people by turning the vision into reality. As I told you, vision leader वो है जो visionary है, जो पूरा project handle कर रहा है और वो outcome क्या चाहता है वही जानता है. उसके नीचे बहुत सारे managers हैं और उन projects के जो portions हैं उसको उसने divide करके managers को handle कर दिया है. So the group of people, managers are handling their meeting their target, and as a whole, all managers will report to that leader so as to complete the whole project in a day. So they themselves think beyond what an individual can do, and they activate people to be a part of something little bigger, and knows that how high a functioning team can accomplish, a lot of a lot more work together than an individual work. So the managers are focusing on setting and measuring the achieving goals on the day-to-day basis or the regular basis, and they control the situation or if exceeds or could not reach the objective level. Okay, the next point is leaders are change agents, yes, and the manager has to maintain the status quotient. लीडर्स में जैसे उनका इनोवेशन एक मंत्र रहता है. एक प्रोजेक्ट मिला, फिर नाउ वी हैव टू स्विच टू अ न्यू प्रोजेक्ट वेयर so that's why they are known as change agents. They are basically proud disruptors. They मतलब आज ये यहाँ मन हो रहा है, आज वो प्रोजेक्ट करेंगे, अब नया टाइप का प्रोजेक्ट लेंगे. So innovation is their mantra, and change they change and know if the things are working, and they could be better, way ahead forward, and they understand and accept the fact that the changes to the system often create little waves, but managers stick with what uh, the work has defined, and refining the system structures processes to make it better. Another thing is, जब एक प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा होता है तो वंस इट इज इनिशियल फेज में जब वो स्मूथ गोइंग होता है, तो वो लीडर्स विल थिंक अबाउट न्यू प्रोजेक्ट कि अब ये जिस पेस से जा रहा है मेरा प्रोजेक्ट, इसको तो मेरे को मॉनिटर करना ही है. Now I had to think about a new project also. So leader has to keep an eye on both which project is ongoing and which project is about to come. But the manager has a manager and below level people, the people come under manager, has only one task, that what current project requires. So this way it is also different. Now the leaders are unique, but managers are copy. Now how they are unique? Leaders are willing to be by themselves. They are willing by themselves, but they are self aware. They are self aware and work actively to build their unique and differentiated personal brand. But they are comfortable in their own, but managers are comfortable in their own shoes and willing to stand out. So managers are far way ahead, far way behind to compare the competencies and the behavior of leaders. Now another thing is leaders are ready to take risk. They are risk involving, but the manager are there to control the risk. Whatever risk leader has taken, that has to be minimized and controlled by managers. But uh, one who is bigger, the one who is willing to take the risk. So the leaders are willing to try new things even if they may fail miserably sometimes, but the failure is pushing them a step ahead on the path of success. So but the managers work to minimize the risk, as I told you earlier. They seek to avoid and control problems rather than embracing them. इट इज जस्ट अ डिफरेंस. लीडर को मैं कहूँ कि बिजनेसमैन जैसा है, और मैनेजर को मैं कहूँ कि कोई नौकरी पेशे आदमी जैसा है जो अपनी सैलरी में उसको काम कैसे चलाना है वो है, और लीडर वो है जिसकी अपनी शॉप है. तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितना डिफरेंस आता है, कैसे आता है. Leaders are in it for the long period, but the manager, leaders will think of long period, but the managers should think of short only. Leaders have intentionally, they have to intentionally they are what they are going to do, and will they stay motivated for long towards the big to be achieved. But and they remain motivated without receiving regular rewards, but they know one day reward will come. But the manager work for a shorter term goals and seek regular acknowledgements and records, incentives, sometimes in terms of salary increments also. Next point is leaders grow personally. Managers rely upon existing or proven skills. See, leaders know if they are learning something, what they are exactly learning something in day to day life. They are not standing still. They are falling behind everything, and they are छांट के लेके आते हैं प्रोजेक्ट्स को, काम को. They remain curious and seek to remain relevant in the ever changing world of work. So they have to remain updated around inside the about the inside the organization and outside the organization, because uh, in outside the organization it is environment. So what is happening in the environment, क्या हम अपडेटेड हैं, क्या हम आउटडेटेड तो नहीं हो जाएंगे, क्या हमको प्रोजेक्ट्स मिलेंगे नहीं मिलेंगे, किस तरह के प्रोजेक्ट्स हमको मिलने चाहिए. सो दीज आर ऑल थिंग्स हैज टू बी understand by first of leader, and they seek people and information. They are expanding their thinking. Managers often double down on what made them successful, perfecting the existing skills only. जो वो कंपनी के अंदर में कर रहे हैं उन्हीं स्किल्स को परफेक्ट करते जा रहे हैं, एक ही काम को बार बार कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस. Another is leaders build relationship, managers build system and processes. Leaders focuses on more on people. The one who needs business should have more contacts as much as possible. All the stakeholders requires need to influence in order to realize the vision on. Now what exactly realize means here? Realize is converting opportunities into money, cash. So that is the meaning of realize here. Now they know who their stakeholders are. Sometimes stakeholders are in private limited company, the one who have invested. So they are stakeholders, and in limited company, the stakeholders are common people. Even if they have purchased a single share, they are termed as stakeholders, and they spent money, their money with them. So their loyalty and trustworthiness has to be delivered against the promise done previously. The manager, similarly, on the other hand, manager has to focus on this company's structure necessary to achieve the goal inside the company. They have to focus only to ensure the analytical and to ensure the systems to be performed and desired outcomes to be attained. So this is the exact work of manager. Now they work with individuals, and their goal and objectives are also individual, but collectively it gives a clear picture to the leader that what is the position of the project. Now next is leader is the coach, mentor is direction. Mentor gives you direction, direct करता है. Leader knows how the people who has to work for them uh, have the answers or able to find them. They see their people are competent and are optimistic about their potential, but they resist the temptation to tell people what to do and how to do. Managers assign tasks and provide guidance on how to accomplish them. So leaders are confident, but they are not into guiding the people. Managers are guiding and delegating the task from that particular project, the pieces of the work. Next is the leaders create fans. Manager have the supporting employees or subordinates or colleagues. Leaders have people who go beyond following them. They are not only following their work, they are following also the style of working, the stardom he has created from his projects, from the successfulness of the project, and this way he uh, replenish the promoters, stakeholders, and the customers also by helping them to build their brand and achieve the goals. So their fan helps in increase the visibility and credibility of the leader. But the manager have the staff uh, whom have to follow the direction of their manager, particular manager or a boss, and or sometimes to to take help of the boss as well. So this was the difference between manager and leader. सो मोटा मोटा सोचें तो जो बिजनेसमैन है, जो आज बिजनेस कर रहा है, चाहे किसी भी चीज़ का हो, you can term him as leader, and the one who is working under him, or a person simply is working somewhere doing job and getting regular salary, but at managerial position he's handling two to 10 or 20 people around under him, then he can be termed as a manager. So by this perspective, you can understand this concept, what is the difference between leader and a manager. And many of the times you can write your own. Okay, now let us move to motivation. Maslow needs hierarchy. Let us understand and let us see what is into it. Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow has a theory of psychology in his paper 1943. It was a theory of human motivation, and he studied the psychological parameters, and done taken some observations from human. The theory was like human development psychology, which exactly focuses on the stage of growth in human. Now, another Maslow used the terms in psychology is like safety, psychological. Next is safety. then belongingness, love, esteem, self-actualization, and self-transcendence to describe the motivational parameters or human motivation pattern to understand about these. And he has studied even right from the college student to the people who are really exemplary, like Albert Einstein, Jane Addams. So this kind of people, right from college student to this kind of exemplary people, is a studied through and thorough, which because he has to first of all check the stages of growth in human, at which age mindset is what, and how motivation works at which age. Because as we grow older, as we grow older As we grow older, our requirement frequently changes and our motivational level also changes. Our experience and observation has enhanced from yesterday, and we have a different mindset with the as we are getting older, we our mindset gets changed. Earlier we used to be very aggressive. Now we are little cooler, and we have many observation and experience parameters with us. So this way, he has studied the human tendency and the psychology, and at which stage what he needs, and the esteem, esteem and ego quotient also one needs to satisfy if you want a better output or a best output from an individual. So these many things he has studied. Okay. And he wrote a book on motivation and personality also in 1954. Okay. Now comes the two-factor theory of Herberg's, or sometimes it is also known as dual factor theory. Now let us understand that theory, what it talks about. So Herzberg two-factor theory, about it talks about two things. One is motivation and another is hygiene factors, because these are the two main factors when you go to your workplace. One needs job satisfaction, one needs there are several set of parameters which gives you the dissatisfaction. Sometimes job dissatisfaction, sometimes salary dissatisfaction, sometimes environment dissatisfaction, sometimes the increments are not good, sometimes the the uh, say hygiene is not good, sometimes even the cafeteria is not good. There are n number of parameters, but Herzberg has taken only two parameter, which includes many of the things, like first one is motivation and other one is hygiene factors. Now the motivation is directly related to one's achievement, or we can say organization's achievement also, because if one is capable of achieving his or her personal goal, then and everybody is like on the similar platform, then there is no reason to for an organization to be failed. So the challenging work, the kind of a recognition one's need, the responsibility, the opportunities to do something meaningful, involvement in decision making, sense of importance to an organization, positive satisfaction. Sometimes one needs recognition, achievement, personal growth. So these many factors are there which directly affects the motivation of a person. Obviously there can be many more factors also, but most of the factors and sub factors comes under this only. So I have spelled out limited this thing only. Then talks about the hygiene factors. Now, hygiene factors. What are the hygiene factors? Herzberg has discussed about. It's like status, it's like job security, it's like salary, it's like fringe benefits, sometimes bonus वगैरह या कुछ ऐसा incentive आता है ना, that comes under it. Work conditions, इंश्योरेंस है कि नहीं, वैकेशंस है कि नहीं, पेड लीव है कि नहीं, दैट मेडिकल लीव है कि नहीं, that do not give positive satisfaction or lead to higher motivation, that really give positive satisfaction, and which leads to higher motivation also, but because through dissatisfaction that results in the absence of a particular employee. Now the term hygiene is used in the sense here that these are the maintenance factors which are really responsible towards one's motivation, one's performance outcomes, and that has to be included as an aspects in the company's policies, supervisory practices, sometimes in the wages and salaries also. Now, Herzberg has uh, uh, Herzberg has offered hygiene factors as KITA factors, which is acronym of kick in the ass. Like it's a slang word, but the process of providing incentives of the threat or a punishment to someone also who do something wrong and mischievous. Now, the last one, uh, how do these factors, here he has prepared the best combination as we can see on the screen. The first one was hygiene, high motivation. Next is high hygiene, low motivation. Third one is low hygiene, high motivation. And the last one is low hygiene and low motivation. Now, let us go through little deep. The ideal condition is like where employee will get highly motivated and have little complaints only, because if a person is highly motivated, then even some troubles are there, some tough conditions are there, he or she won't complain. So high motivation means there should not be very high complaints, very few can be there, very few can be there. Now, second one is high hygiene and low motivation. So the employee who has few complaints but are not highly motivated, the job is viewed as, little paycheck kind of a thing. Okay, little salary, or I can say. The third one is low hygiene and high motivation. The employees are motivated, but a lot of complaints are there, and because the situations where one's job is existing and the challenging one, the salary and working conditions are not at par. That should be salary and the working condition should be at par. That is required one. And the worst case or the last case is like low hygiene and the low motivation, the fourth one. So it is the worst condition ever seen where the employees are not at all motivated and having hell lot of complaints. Means it's like if some boss is moving towards a particular department or a team, that this we have to perform. So whenever he completes his speech, then instead of saying, yes, sir, we can do it and we will do it, instead of that, uh, everybody starts complaining, this we have not achieved, this we have not received, that we have not received. We should take these things in this manner, we should take that thing in that manner. So, a lot of complaints are there, and and the motivation remains at the lower level. So this is the worst condition, fourth condition. Okay, hope you understand all these three topics, and if you have any question or doubts, you can ask me now. Please go through the slides I have shared with you the main two main slides where one of your senior, Mr. Deepak Tripathi, has delivered an expert lecture. He is currently working in steel manufacturing, Tata Steel, and performing a role of assistant manager, currently posted in Jamshedpur. Uh, okay, so he has given initially the technical part, what he is exactly into, I mean his domain, and later on he had shared many of the things about the job availability in the market. He's saying job is like बहुत सारे jobs available हैं, but the one has to understand what exactly company needs. He has discussed it in that presentation, and also he has given a final slide, the takeaway slide I have shared with you. So when you are in college, especially for pre-final and final year, how you should prepare yourself, uh, to get the jobs from in campus and on campus interview both, when off campus and on campus interview both. So how to prepare yourself? Firstly he said कि percentage अच्छे से अच्छा होना चाहिए, मेजर प्रोजेक्ट मेजर ट्रेनिंग के लिए ध्यान दो, एमकेट के लिए आपको भरना, हमेशा रजिस्ट्रेशन करके एमकेट का स्टेटस आपको हमारे पास आपके पास होना चाहिए. So many of the things he has shared on that slide, I have shared with you in the group. Please go through it, and I'll also share a feedback link to you. Kindly fill it. That was really a nice presentation. If you could have attended, you must be knowing by yourself. If not, then you missed a greater one. So I'll be sharing a link with you about the feedback. Kindly fill and share it to other one also.